Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sincere from the Standard 81 podcast, and I'm back with another Wednesday rant. Get into this, man. I am ready just to get into this because I've been holding this since yesterday. And here's what I want to talk to you about. But first, before I do that, let me say, go ahead, hit that like, hit the subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and share it with somebody if you feel like it's something. Anyways, let's get into this. Now, I'm going to say this as a caveat before I get into this rant. Let me say that I feel like everybody should be treated equally, should be treated fairly, should be treated with kindness, respect, all the good stuff that every human being should get. Having said that, y'all niggas is weak. Softer than cotton. I have never seen a generation of people, and this is not just young, I have never seen a generation of people that are this weak, offended by everything, triggered by everything. We always gotta have caveats. I mean, it's comedians have to give trigger warnings now. They have to monitor themselves. When they never had to do that before. And I'm not a comedian. I can be kind of funny when I want to, but I'm not a comedian. But what I'm seeing is that we don't like it when people go against us in this day and age. We don't like it when people don't agree with us. We don't like it when nothing outside of what makes us happy or what we think is supposed to be the proper thing to do comes against us. We don't like difficulties. We don't like hard. We don't like nothing that makes us us. Nothing that has made this society as it is today great. We don't want to get into any conflict. We want everybody to believe in the same thing that we believe, knowing that there's a vast array of people, and we want to be we and here's the thing that kills me. A lot of people say, I don't want to be don't offend me, don't do this, but yet they're willing to offend other people in the name of not being offended themselves, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Which proves my other point. Which proves my point. We are selfish. We are selfish, and in being selfish, we become weak and weak-minded. And I don't care who's offended by this, because this is merely my opinion. This is a rant. And I'm not sitting here trying to tell y'all that you can't have feelings, you can't express your emotions, you can't do none of that. But the people before us were made of stronger stuff. And it seems like people under the age bracket of 25 and under seem to have more trouble with this, and the people that are 25 and up seem to be dealing with it a little bit better because they were raised in a different era. But nonetheless, it's a problem across the board, because now everybody is focusing in on self. I want to focus in on me and my greatness and my purpose and my that it's starting to be a bit ridiculous, which is making us soft. We don't want to hear nobody else's perspective. We don't want to have dialogues that bring us into contention. All we want is a big crowd of echo chambers that say the same thing, do the same stuff, but yet we'll sit there and say, I'm an individual. You can't judge me the way I'm an individual. You can't judge everything the same. But we want everybody to follow the same quotas, the same type of lifestyle, do the same type of things, believe in the same stuff, but yet we want to claim individuality. How did that work? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a Christian, and in my faith, we all believe in the same thing, right? We all believe Father, Son, Holy Spirit, but in my faith, we also believe that there are different aspects to each person. Meaning this, everybody has a role to play. Everybody has a part to something together. We cannot sit there and be like, oh, you know, just because you don't do this, you don't do that, you're not a part of it. We're building a body, we're building a community, and in a community and in a body, you have parts to play. And when something in your body is not functioning right, you become handicapped, right? In that particular aspect. When something in the community is not functioning right, the community continues to function in its ordained fashion. The reason that we have societal rules and different things is not to make everybody think the same or make everybody do the same thing. It's to keep order and organization to it. But now we live in a day and age where everybody wants to make their own personal rules, their own personal this, their own personal that, because of some type of offense or some type of personal quota. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous. People, let's get ourselves together, because what we're gonna wind up having is utter chaos. It's starting to happen now. I'm glad some people are paying attention and beginning to wake up to this, but the longer we let this fester in us, the longer we let this thing go, the longer we continue to say, oh, you know, I'm a crybaby and I'm offended by this and if you do this to me, I'm gonna sue you, or I'm gonna talk about you, or I'm gonna cancel you, or whatever. We ain't gonna go nowhere, because we gonna constantly be arranging rules and reorganizing for the minority instead of moving forward as a majority. Not realizing it's not meant for all of us to be alike. It's not meant for all of us to act alike. There are meant to be differences. If God wanted us to be all alike, he would have created us all alike. He would have had us talk all alike. He would have had everything just alike. And whether you believe in God or not is irrelevant to this conversation. If it was supposed to be alike, it would have been that way already. But because of our own personal preferences and because of our selfishness, we become softer than cotton and not willing to deal with anything. We've been unwilling to go through any type of circumstances, any type of hardships, and deal with any type of reality whatsoever. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a lot easier said than done, because nobody wants to deal with hard time circumstances or the truth, for that matter, because the truth hurts, right? But in order to improve and grow and continue to develop, you have to go through things. You've got to go through a process, and sometimes that process is not the best process. If you ever seen anybody do any type of metal work or build a sword or whatever, that metal, those pieces of metal go through fire and hammering for hours upon hours upon hours before it even gets to the polishing, before it gets to the staining, before it's even of use. And even before that, it goes through rigorous inspections to make sure that we can see all, to make sure that the person who's doing it can see all the flaws and whether or not it's even usable for what they want to use it for. Nowadays, we don't want to go through the process. We don't even want to go through the process of figuring out whether or not we're useful. We just want it our way, like Burger King. And where you get that, when you have that, you have nothing. Where you have that, you have nothing. You have a generation in a society of lost people that are not equipped to do anything but complain and gripe and moan about what things are. And I don't feel like we got any right, especially living here in America, where we have an overabundance of everything. Come on, man. We got fat homeless people. Where you know that to happen? Fat homeless. Come on. In other countries, homeless have a certain look to them. You ain't never seen no fat homeless in other countries. Easy. And the fact that we even have that should let you know that we're more than privileged. I'm not saying that we are the best country in the world. I'm not saying that we have it all together, but by far we've got a lot more than most. And yet we're still complaining about everything because it's not going the way we would like it. It's not as convenient as we would like it, which proves me right back to the first thing I said. We soft as cotton. Don't want to go through nothing. Haven't been through nothing. And this is not negating the past history of people who have gone through slavery or civil rights or the Jewish community that went through the Holocaust or anything like that. But as it stands presently, we have gone through nothing. Let's just be real. Most of the stuff we complain about is people's dialect, how they talk. And like I said in the beginning, I believe everybody deserves human decency, courtesy, and respect. But having said that, we can't sit there and continue to get mad at other people for the way that they think, for the way that they walk, the way that they talk. Let them do whatever. Let them do whatever. And I'm even talking to the Christians too. I mean, let's put it this way. Christians have a conflict with a lot of the things that the world is doing right now. Rightfully so. We don't live by those principles. But unless God is actually telling us to call them out, I think it's better left alone. We don't have to accept them into our communities, into our homes, or into anything else. But Paul says live peaceably, right? It's when they start trying to come at us is when we need to rise up and say, nah, I'm good on that. And vice versa. We soft. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's get it together, folks. Let's stop being so soft. Let's take stances. Let's rise up. Let's do things that challenge us, that take us to a different level. I'm speaking to myself too, because I need to do that in plenty of areas. Improvement needs to happen all the time. But we can't sit there and say we want greatness. We say we want all this stuff and stop improving because it don't fit our agenda or what we think should be happening. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Anyways, check out my TikTok at the Standard 81 Podcast. Check out my Instagram at Sincere the Artist. Hopefully I can get that changed over to uh the standard. But anyways, until next time. Oh, and by the way, if you're watching this on after the recording is over, hit second watch, type in second watch in the comments for me. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, which will be Friday. Peace out.